Dr. Gonzo Boogie here again, and in this video I wanted to do something a little different and do like an update on my first video, which was me showing my Hammer Horror DVD and VHS collection. And I've been wanting to do this video for a while because since it was my first video, it was kind of like my practice video. So in my opinion, it didn't really come out the best. I always thought the quality of the video was a little rough, and I thought the audio could have been like leveled out a little better. Like, here's an example. Hey, this is Dr. Gonzo Boogie. Just wanted to do a quick video showing my Hammer DVD and VHS collection. But now I been wanting to redo it, so I figured this is like a good time to redo it because I just got some new Hammer DVDs too. So definitely excited about that. I was able to find some of the Hammer movies that I've been looking for a while recently, which is awesome because I was able to finish my Dracula collection, which I've been wanting to do for a while, and I got I think a little bit closer to finishing some of my other collections too. I added on to a couple of my other collections, so it's pretty cool. So I figured I would just show all my Hammer DVDs and VHSs again. Instead of just doing an update on the video, I figured I would kind of like remake it, like just show off my Hammer collection again. Like I said, the quality for my first video isn't the best, so since my Hammer DVDs are kind of like my favorite in my horror movies, I've always wanted to make that video a little bit better. So I am going to bring my camera over to my DVD shelf now and show you guys my whole Hammer DVD collection, and then I'll move on and I'll just show you guys my small Hammer VHS collection. Alright, so this is my entire Hammer DVD collection. It's in my top shelf of my DVD collection because it's some of my favorite DVDs I own. So I'll just go through here and show it off the way I have it displayed in my DVD collection, which could be a little confusing to some because they're not in order of the actual series. They're more just kind of in random order. Like right here I have the ones that are released by Warner Brothers, and then I have like my box sets, and then like my collections, not really box sets, and then I have like just everything else, like right here some like packs and some of the other Frankenstein films, some of the Draculas, and then here is all the Anchor Bay ones. So it's a little unorganized, but it makes sense to me and I like it, so that's why it's like that. But here we go, and this is The Curse of Frankenstein, and this is probably my favorite Hammer movie. This is like the first, and this is one of the best. Terrence Fisher's the director. It's got Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Like, what more can you ask for? That's the spine of that one. That's the back. Just awesome stuff. I love these Warner Brothers DVDs. I wouldn't mind if they released them in like a regular case. I actually like the Warner Brothers snap cases a little bit because they have you know, a little extra artwork and stuff like that inside. But they are a little difficult to display on a shelf. They're kind of clunky, I guess. But and then for the Warner Brothers collection, this is the only other Frankenstein movie they released, which is Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. And this is a pretty good one. I would recommend this one to anybody who's looking to get into the series. And this one has Peter Cushing as the Doctor, which is definitely a plus. He only doesn't play the Doctor in one movie, and I don't have that one. It's actually Horror of Frankenstein, and I don't have that one. That one is extremely hard to find on DVD, and it goes for like 40-50 bucks used, so just waiting to find a good price on it. But definitely would recommend this one. Again, the Warner Brothers cases, just they look nice. They add the extra picture in, and they do a good job on the layouts on these. And then this is the first in the Dracula series. The Horror of Dracula. And this one again would recommend, highly recommend. This one has Christopher Lee as Dracula and Peter Cushing as Van Helsing. And Peter Cushing doesn't play Van Helsing in all the movies, so the ones that have him as Van Helsing are really some of the best in the series. And then Warner Brothers also released a couple more Dracula movies. Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, and you gotta love the title and the cover for this. Just awesome. I love these cover artworks. I'm glad they used these like movie posters as the covers, and the pictures they chose are just awesome too. The inside of this one, and I just love these. Everything about the Hammer movies I just love. I love the quality of the acting in them, the like set designs, just the blood, how like bright red it was. They were some of the very first horror movies to get really violent, and I feel like they got away with it because they took place in like the 1800s. A lot of their movies did. I would say probably like 75% of them took place in like the 1800s. But I feel like that's how they got away with a lot of the just like they had a lot of nudity, a lot of violence, and a lot of like weird things. Like they would show priests getting attacked by like vampires or bats and dying. Just things that you wouldn't expect to see in like a 60s movie, kinda, I guess. But yeah, this is Taste the Blood of Dracula, another one released by Warner Brothers. And again, you gotta love the name and the cover artwork for this. Just pretty much just sells the movie to me right there. But I know it's gonna be good because again, you get Christopher Lee as Dracula, and just awesomeness. And Warner Brothers also released another one of the Dracula movies, but that's later down in the line. I'll talk about that when I get there. And this is excuse me, this is The Mummy, and this also has Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in it, and it's directed by Terrence Fisher. And this is the first in the Mummy series, and this is really good. It kind of takes all the best parts of the Universal Mummy sequels and jams them all into one movie, and it's really good. It's probably my favorite Mummy movie because I like it better than the Universal ones. The first Universal Mummy movie is really good, but this is like the best like killer Mummy movie, where there's a mummy walking around wearing bandages and everything, like choking people and like killing people. This is like my favorite out of all those killer Mummy movies, because the first Universal Mummy movie with Boris Karloff is a little different. It's more of like a Dracula type film than like a Frankenstein killer type movie. But yeah, I'll show off some of these sets now. And this is the one that Universal put out. This is the Hammer Horror series, and this set has 8 movies on it. And this is just an awesome set, an awesome set. It's got Curse of the Werewolf, Brides of Dracula, The Phantom of the Opera, Kiss of the Vampire, which is pretty good, and I used to have that separate, but after I got this pack I sold it. Night Creatures, which I would highly recommend. Night Creatures. It's like it has to do with pirates, it has to do with ghosts and like skeletons in like this field, this like haunted field. There's like scarecrows, just awesome Halloween imagery. Night Creatures is probably just one of the most, like, the imagery in that movie is just perfect for like Halloween. If you're looking for like still shots from a movie that represent Halloween, definitely look up a Hammer film on Night Creatures. And this also has The Evil of Frankenstein, which is one of the Frankenstein films in the series. I think that's the 3rd in the Frankenstein series. So to complete the Hammer Frankenstein series, you need to get this pack, and same thing with the Dracula series, because Brides of Dracula is the 2nd in the Dracula series, but it doesn't feature Christopher Lee as Dracula, because it actually takes place right after the first one, where the Dracula from the first one is actually dead. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then the next Dracula movie, Dracula Prince of Darkness, that one actually brings Dracula back, but it's also a sequel to the first one. So the first Hammer Dracula movie, Horror of Dracula, actually has two sequels in a sense, which is kind of weird. But I love these movies, and this pack, highly recommend this pack. Curse of the Werewolf is just awesome. It's just awesome. It's probably my favorite werewolf movie, and it's like different. It it's like this, the guy who ends up turning into a werewolf has had this problem like his whole life, ever since he was a child. He was like cursed at birth. Just a really interesting take on the werewolf story, kind of unique in my opinion. And then this is the Hammer pack that Columbia Pictures put out, and they actually put out like an action adventure like Pirates collection, and they also put together a suspense collection, which I used to have, but I sold just because I'm not really into Hammer suspense films. For one reason, I'm not that big of a suspense film fan. I'm more of like a monster movie fan. I like suspense films, don't get me wrong, they're just not like my favorite. So I liked that set because I liked how it had some of the Hammer actors and directors in it. But it wasn't really what I collect Hammer films for. But this set is perfect. If you're trying to get the Mummy series, you need this pack because this has the Curse of the Mummy's Tomb in it, which is the second Mummy film, and it's just it's the only way you can get that film. And it also has the Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, and that's their Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde film, and it's pretty good. They did another one, Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, which seems a little weird, but cool at the same time. I actually want to check that one out. So but that again is one that is very hard to find on DVD. It goes for like 40-50 bucks for that one used, so kind of a rip-off right now. But and it also has the Gorgon on it, which is has Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in it, if I remember. And it's just a really good Hammer film. It has like a Medusa type monster in it, which is on the back there. I think hopefully I can get that on the webcam right now. I can't really see when I'm filming good right now. Just hoping for the best. And this is just, I would highly recommend this pack, and it's great. I love it. Right here we have, this is a pack I've been wanting for a while now, and I finally bought recently. This is the Hammer set put out by Millennium Entertainment. And I know they just put out Dracula Prince of Darkness on Blu-ray, so I guess this was their DVD substitute. I guess it was this 3-pack, but this is an awesome 3-pack. And I already had Dracula and the Seven Golden Vampires. I meant the Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, and Frankenstein Created Woman. Sorry, I'm rushing through here. Slow down a little bit. And those are good movies, but I already had them in an Anchor Bay pack, which I still have. But Dracula Prince of Darkness was another one of those Anchor Bay ones that went for like 40 bucks used. So when I found out that this pack was coming out, I was really excited, looking forward to checking that movie out finally. But at the time it came out, I didn't have a job, so I couldn't find it or buy it if I did find it. And now that I have a little bit of money, I was finally able to pick it up, and I was extremely excited to buy this finally, because Dracula Prince of Darkness, like I said, is kind of like the sequel to the first one. It's like the return of Christopher Lee, and it's just awesome. Awesome, highly recommend that pack. And this is the Revenge of Frankenstein. This is like the second in the Frankenstein series, and this is pretty good. I would recommend this. You can buy this for cheap. This is one of the only Hammer movies that I know goes for cheap right now. You can buy it like $4 brand new at FYE if they have it there. And this one's directed by Terrence Fisher, and I would just highly recommend this one too. All the Hammer monster movies like Frankenstein, Dracula, and Mummy, I would recommend all those. Excuse me. And this is the last in the Frankenstein Hammer series, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. And I love this DVD. I love the way it looks, and I love this movie too. It's pretty good. The monster in this movie looks a little outrageous. It's like covered in fur and like super strong, so it almost looks like a gorilla. But it's still cool, and again, the title of this movie just kind of like sells it alone. Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. Just an awesome title. One thing that Hammer always did well. But again, Peter Cushing is in this one, and it's directed by Terrence Fisher, who is like, you know, he's the king of making Hammer films. So he's just the best. So any movie that Terrence Fisher directed that's a Hammer film, definitely recommend those ones. And this is a cool little double feature 2-pack from Warner Brothers. The Curse of Frankenstein and Taste of Blood of Dracula, which I had both of those on Warner Brothers editions, which I showed just a little while ago. And I picked up this pack recently just because I'm a completist and I've wanted to get all the Hammer like monster DVDs. And I just always thought this 2-pack looked cool. I like the way it's laid out. I like the purple for some reason, and it's just, I think it's cool. So I remember I think I used to have this pack before, and one of my friends had it, and I always thought it looked cool, and I've always wanted to pick it up. So I'm glad I got around to getting that. And then here is Dracula AD 1972, which is one of the leader in the Dracula series, and this one is pretty good. It's like they took like a hipper approach, tried to make it take place in the time that it was filmed, which Hammer didn't usually do. Like I said, most of their films took place in like the 1800s, and so that makes this movie a little unique, even though around this time they started to do that more with the Mummy and the other movies that they were putting out. But this is really good. I would recommend this one. Again, this is Warner Brothers, but for some reason this is the only one Warner Brothers released not in a snap case, and you can't even buy this one in a snap case. I've looked, and you can't. You can only get this one in like a normal DVD case, but it just makes me wonder why they never released the other ones like that, or why they didn't you know what I'm saying, just release them all so you can put them next to each other. Because if I put this one next to the Dracula film, you know, the other Warner Brothers one, it kind of like, you know, gaps it up. And like, if you've seen my other videos, I talk like, if I have Warner Brothers in my like DVD collection, I kind of like to group them together just because they tend to kind of mess with DVDs. You know, like if you pull a DVD out, it'll kind of like tug at it a little bit, just because they kind of have that plastic lip at the top. But you know, so you know, just a little complaint. But again, Dracula AD 1972 is awesome. It actually is like a little different than the other ones because Van Helsing isn't the original Van Helsing in this one. He's actually like the son, or like the great, or like the grandson of Van Helsing, even though he looks just like him. But it's just part of the story, you know. It takes place in 1972, so they couldn't have the Van Helsing from the 1800s in it. And this one is actually a sequel to Dracula AD 1972, the Satanic Rites of Dracula, which this is the only one you can get in public domain. They put it under a lot of different names, like the Rites of Dracula or some random stuff like that. But this is the alpha video release, and I would recommend this, even though the quality is not better than VHS, but it's like a good VHS tape, like a brand spanking new VHS tape without any like fuzz marks or anything. So I would recommend buying the alpha video one, unless you want to spend like 80-60 bucks on the Anchor Bay edition of it, which is probably the best quality edition of the Satanic Rites of Dracula. So I'm hoping that like Millennium Entertainment or one of these companies releases some of these hard to find Hammer films on DVD again, re-releases them, because the Anchor Bay editions are so expensive. You're lucky if you can find one for less than like 40 bucks used. If you want to buy one new, you know, you're definitely looking towards $100, and that's just ridiculous for one DVD. $100. I don't know. It just seems like a waste of money. If I had the money, I would probably do it, but still, it seems like a waste to me. But the rest of my Hammer here is my Anchor Bay collection. This is one of the newer ones I got. This is Scars of Dracula, and this was a really good one. This is one of the ones I hadn't seen in a while, and I wasn't able to pick up because it's just been too pricey. But just recently, I found it on Amazon at a reasonable price, and I picked it up instantly. This is actually the limited edition, 2-disc edition that comes with the Many Faces of Christopher Lee and 2 Christopher Lee music videos. Interested in what those might be, but I just watched this movie a couple days ago, and it's pretty good for one of the Hammer Dracula sequels. Definitely would recommend again. Any of the ones with Christopher Lee in it or Peter Cushing are just great. And yeah, so this is the 2-disc. Anchor Bay does a great job. I'll have to go through and show the inserts and all these. And then on the 2nd disc, which is just awesome. And I just love Anchor Bay. They're my favorite DVD company, and all their DVDs are like out of print now. So like it's pretty much like my thing to do is to buy like out of print Anchor Bays. Try to find reasonable prices on them and buy them, because in my opinion they're just gonna get even harder to find because they're like collectibles. Anchor Bay really did a good job in like organizing and making packaging and laying out all their DVDs, and the quality is good, the features are good, they're just great. And this is a double feature I have, and Hammer is great for double features, but these movies actually didn't come out at the same times. They're a good gap between them. But this is Frankenstein Created Woman and The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, which is also on that pack that comes with Dracula Prince of Darkness. But this is a really good 2-pack. And again, this is Anchor Bay. And this one is pretty pricey too, but I was able to find this one for a pretty cheap price at the time. I got this like a couple of years ago. And these movies are just awesome. Again, cool insert and everything. And The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires actually comes with the American release, The Seven Brothers Meet Dracula. So it comes with 2 versions of that movie, which I think is cool. The other Millennium pack doesn't. So I feel like this is definitely going to be rare, because this is probably going to be one of the only ways you can get both versions of the movie on DVD until they re-release it again with like bonus features. So definitely cool in my opinion. And any of these Hammer Anchor Bays I pick up. Most of the time they're extremely expensive, but I usually wait till I can find them for pretty decent prices. And this is the Mummy Shroud, which is this is the 3rd in the Mummy series, and probably my favorite Mummy sequel. There's always been something about this movie. I've had this movie on DVD for a while now, and I've just always really liked it. I love the packaging for it, very dark and black, and for some reason I like that. And cool again with the insert, and let me flip that over. Right there. Beware the beat of the cloth-wrapped feet, and this is just a cool addition. And then here is Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. This is the last in Hammer's Mummy series, and this really doesn't have a mummy in it. This has this gorgeous actress in it, and she plays both like the mummy princess, which isn't really a mummy, and then she plays like this girl who like is kind of like a reincarnation, or like the spirit of the princess or whatever kind of took over her body when she was born. And it's just a pretty good movie. Definitely recommend this one for Hammer fans, and especially fans of like Hammer Babes and stuff. This is one of the better ones, with just definitely a gorgeous actress in this movie, and I would recommend this one. Seth Holt directed this one, and he's directed you know, a good amount of Hammer films. He's another one of those Hammer regular, sort of. And then here we have Plague of the Zombies, which is Hammer's like voodoo zombie movie. And it's been a while since I've watched this one. I should probably re-watch it, but it's pretty good. I just remember it has a lot to do with like the voodoo aspects of the zombie movies, and this is awesome. The insert for this is a B feature with Dracula Prince of Darkness, which I finally own on DVD now. And then here is Rasputin, which stars Christopher Lee, and this is just a great movie. Rasputin the Mad Monk, and this is like a like kind of like sort of like a biography about Rasputin, but definitely exaggerated and made different for a movie. But then again, Rasputin is a very like mythical type character in the first place, so you know it kind of it stretches his myth, but it does kind of what the Rasputin thing has always been, where it kind of just adds to his mythology. And this is a really good movie, and I would recommend this. Christopher Lee does a great job. The posters comes with the Reptile, the B feature, and that is actually the next up in my Hammer collection, the Reptile, which this is an awesome movie. Again, all these Hammer movies I like. The Reptile monster is actually like a woman who turns into a monster, so I thought that was kind of unique. One of Hammer's only like women monsters, if I can remember right, other than the Medusa and stuff like that. But pretty cool. And again, this one comes with the poster that has Rasputin the Mad Monk on it, which is awesome. And then this is the anniversary, and this has Betty Davis in it, and this is actually pretty good. It's kind of like one of those everybody's in a house. It's like a mystery type movie, and you're like figuring out, you know, something. I forget what it was, but I actually liked this. Betty Davis plays like a really mean like mother in this movie. They're having some type of dinner, and it's actually pretty good. It has some Hammer regulars in it, and I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Not really one of the Hammer movies I'm into, but I saw it. I think one of my friends picked this up for me at a pawn shop or something like that. But you know, it's a Hammer, Anchor Bay, so I was like, why not? And then last here is Captain Chronos the Vampire Hunter. Now this is still the only Hammer film in my collection I have yet to watch. Just doesn't interest me too much. It seems like it's one of the more boring Hammer films, and not really excited about this one. But I'm sure one day when I'm having like a Hammer marathon, I'll pop it in and watch it. But I just picked this up. I saw this at a store for cheap, so I picked it up. I saw that it was a Hammer production on the back, so I'm like, well, gotta get it. But I haven't gotten around to seeing it yet. So that was my whole Hammer DVD collection, and it's not too many. I think it's 23 DVDs altogether. A bunch of them are 2-packs and collections, so like I haven't counted, but altogether I probably have almost like 40 Hammer films. Definitely 30 something, close to 40. So I just love Hammer, and if you're a horror movie fan and you know you like some of the classics, definitely would recommend Hammer horror. So next, I just want to quickly go over and show my VHSs real quick. Alright, I'm just going to go through these really quick because the DVD portion of this video actually took a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, almost 10 minutes longer, so sorry about that. So I'm just going to go through these real quick. I got 2 copies of The Horror of Dracula, Warner Brothers VHS release. Why 2 copies? Why not? And then I got The Brides of Dracula, which again is like the sequel to the first Dracula. Really good. I would recommend this one, definitely. This is Taste the Blood of Dracula, which again, just awesome name. The cover for this one just as awesome as the DVD. And then this is The Rites of Dracula, which again, this is the Satanic Rites of Dracula, just with an alternate title. There's actually like a budget release of this by Gemstone or something like that. So I actually haven't watched this VHS, so I don't know how well the quality is. But yeah, so that's all the VHSs I have, and for Hammer, only a couple. But yeah, thanks for watching, and again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and post a comment or give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And thanks again.